Okay. It's July 26th, 2018, and I'm just going to give you a little story that leads up to why we're even here, out in this wonderful place. Look at this background here, people. We're in the middle of L.A., and I'm not going to tell you where, but this is like primal world. This is Ivan's world.
No, it's not my world, Dr. Rossetti. It's the architects.
Well, it's your making of this world into this particular world in this particular place, where it's by freeways and everything, but it's actually quiet. Anyway, the reason we're here is everybody says we got this big problem with the homeless, right? Yep. Oh, here's the big book. You see, here's the situation. 2018-2019 one-year action plan. The one I'm going to be loaning our friend is the 2018-23 Housing and Community Development Consolidated Plan for Los Angeles Urban County, Community Development Commission, Housing Authority of L.A. County, and L.A. City, because they are a joint powers authority, which means they have combined their forces in one committee for both the H bond and the HHH bonds, which were both city and county. Now we have another $5 billion in state bonds for homeless, okay? They don't like to talk about that money, too. So, what we're talking about, and when I ran into my friend Ivan here and Carolyn Comic in the Funny Farm there in Rosemead in the State Mental Hospital, I'm going to tell you the funniest story you ever heard. The Funny Farm people are going to save the homeless and get SEIU their money because we actually understand this shit and they don't. I'm going to tell you something that's really funny. I had all these budget books out there, right, Ivan? And all the Funny Farm people understood $200 million disappearing, and they understood the difference between $505,000 and $65,000 to $80,000. How can all those people with PhDs not understand Jack Diddley Ding Dong? Okay, now what we're going to start with is my quick analysis of homeless housing costs per homeless person. Recently, the LA Unified, no, not the LA Unified, the LA County Board of Supervisors proudly said, we just built 3,362 units over 6 years for $1.7 billion. Divide the numbers, and it is an average of $505,651.49 each. Supervisor Hahn said Habitat for Humanity is building for $125,000 each. Now, I've got to clarify this bit with Habitat for Humanity, and that is, Habitat for Humanity works with giant containers that I got to bid for. And the reason that it's more money is because they're building 800 square foot houses, not 400 foot units. So when you take Habitat for Humanity building worldwide using these containers, they get a volume deal. Do you dig what I mean? And that's what we're talking about here too. Now, I bring up this information I found by entering cost of building low-income housing in L.A. County, and the answer was $69,000 to $89,000 each. The Madison advertising on TV, when you look at their website and you ask them, is now $350 to $380 each. All they're doing is rehabbing old trash hotels. I don't know where all the money disappears. In the latest Board of Supervisors publications for agendas, the cost is an average of $480,000 each. That's the average for all like about 6 different projects, and one of them was actually $585,000 each or so. I now have a bid from Giant Containers, who Habitat for Humanity works with, for $65,000 each for 10,000 units over 5 years. That's $65,000 for the unit only, ready to drop, but that's less the property, and the city and county own a lot of property, less the pad, installation, and hooking up the utilities and air conditioner. In other words, they're all ready for plug and play. So let's say that it costs another $15,000 or $80,000 installed, hooked up, unfurnished. Now that we're in for $80,000, not $505,000, we save so much money, and since we're trying to give people a good self-image, why don't we let them furnish the apartment the way they want? Now, some people would take, say, whatever the allowance is, I say $1,500, $2,000 to furnish a place. That is outside of the refrigerator, outside of the stove, okay? But they're going to have to supply themselves a bed, a couch. $1,500 would barely do that because real homeless people have nothing, right, Ivan?
Right.
They have nothing, including a self-image. They're the ghost people. So when you're starting with people that are not low income, which is what that Madison was until they put up their latest one, and if you think that I'm such a fool as to not think that what I've been doing now there isn't affecting these people, because I know how the world goes around. Now, it should be on a card that only allows them to spend it for these things and closely monitored. We will have no fraud. Everything is to be done by RFPs. It's not being done now. Because 80,000 goes into 505,000, 6.3 times. 6.3 times 3,362 equals now, and this is finished. As long as the city donates the property, we can put in a concrete pad and some hookups and a cooler, okay? And I also think, and I talked with Ivan about this, and it only makes sense, that we spend a little bit more money on each unit and put in triple pane windows so that you can have your windows open and you're not losing and gaining heat, winter, summer. And why not put solar power on top? So a person can go to a thrift store, or they can go into an antique shop and just have a few really nice things. So my question is, if we could put 21,180 homeless off the street with furnished apartments, what has everyone been thinking? Then there's the fact of 150,000 LASD students not in school every day, or 25% of the total enrolled. This causes massive problems in the criminal justice system, families, children and families system, the probation system, the prosecutor system, and lifelong permanent problems at the bottom of society from the beginning, as no one cares about them, and they know it. These people are not stupid. Wait till you hear us go talk to them. When they were shocked about Carolyn comic, let me tell you something. They've been being lied to. How could they not know what it's really like? Ivan, how is it they could not know?
How did they find out about Carolyn?
Because I sent her to them and she told them the truth. That's the only way they know now.
Who's them?
The top of the board of supervisors, Sheila Kuehl and Janice Hahn.
Oh.
The main motherfuckers, dude. Yeah, them. That's right. Hey, who cares about my language? That's what it is. Then the idiots at the public defenders, LA City Attorney's Office and LADA, who are illegally prosecuting those with misdemeanors committed in LA. My information is that not only me, in multiple cases, but all are being illegally prosecuted by the DA, not the city attorney, as laid out in Section 271 of the 2009 LA City Charter and illegal since 1915, and a 2010 vote by the LA City Council. And as usual, no enforcement in our lawless country. The next thing that I have here is, remember I was talking about where I got that? Well, they're talking here of 861 square feet with a footprint of 24 by 35. I was wrong. For 64 to 86,000 per unit. Oh my God. Even better than I thought. Okay? So, I thought that I'd read this close enough, but I hadn't. So we're looking at even better. See, because I'm looking at an average cost of, say, and I think this is proper. If we can get at $150 to $175 a square foot, the copper plumbing, conduit electrical so it can be repulled, so these things are really sustainable through time. The triple pane windows, the real insulation. They already come with 2 coats of Valspar marine coat stuff after they've been completely sandblasted clean. Now we're looking at an even bigger thing. So we for sure can pull those costs in at 65 and let people make money. Nobody should be after that. What this one here is the homeless count in L.A. And they say veteran homeless count is flat, but I've seen other numbers that say it isn't. But I have this here for you. This is how they've terminated 22,000 people on the medical benefits. They did that to me 4 years in a row.
Before it gets dark, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, before it gets dark, can I tell them my name, how they can see me on the internet, and what
go ahead.
What I look like?
Come over here and show them and tell them, why don't you just sit right down here for the rest of this damn thing?
No, not the rest. Not the rest.
Okay.
But just a brief.
Okay. Yeah, because we got to get this done before.
I'm Ivan Raphael Warnick, and you can find me by Googling my name, Ivan Raphael Warnick, which is spelled first name I-V-O-N, Ivan. Raphael is my middle name, R-A-P-H-A-E-L, and Warnick is my last name, W-A-R-N-I-C-K.
Okay, this one here is on August 17, 2015. The L.A. County Board of Supervisors launched the Homeless Initiative. Of course, I haven't seen them do jack shit. This right here, oh, you're going to die. This is the public information request to the LADA, and not one of these people's answers, and they're just Brown Act violators. Now, Ivan, this is really important.
Yes.
This is Section 271 of the City Charter.
Section 271.
Only the city attorney can prosecute any misdemeanor committed inside the city of L.A. since 1915. And this is Section 271 of the City Charter. Section C. The powers and duties of the city attorney shall be as follows. A. The city attorney shall represent the city in all legal proceedings against the city. The city attorney shall initiate a proper legal proceedings on behalf of the city. B. The city attorney shall be the legal advisor to the city and all city boards, departments, officers, and entities. The city attorney shall give advice or opinion in writing when requested to do so by any city officer or board. C. The city attorney shall prosecute on behalf of the people all criminal cases and related proceedings arising for violations of the city charter and city ordinances and all misdemeanor offenses arising from the violation of laws of the city, state occurring in the city. Why, they're breaking that in every goddamn case that the ZA is doing it. This is a public information request by me to the Board of Supervisors, which they still haven't answered. Why has the LA Board of Supervisors allowed the LADA to prosecute George Bazzetti in at least 2 cases with total perjury, double jeopardy, no exculpatory evidence, an illegal prosecutor, no speedy trial rules and or laws followed for 5 years, and 13 judges breaking every law in the book? Now on their way to the California Judicial Performance Commission and the State Bar. This organization has purposely refused my 3 completed phone calls within 3 hours of arrest, according to the California Supreme Court decisions, Carlo versus City of Chino, and federal Supreme Court decisions with the USC Code, also to back up this malicious, thoughtful criminality and a protection racket, but also thousands of others. 2. Why does the LABOS allow Section 271 of the 2009 LA City Charter, which says the LADA can never prosecute a misdemeanor committed in the city of LA, which the LAUSD Board of Ed resides in, if you believe in the rule and equality of law before the law? Okay, that's just one of 40 some odd of them. Ivan has a copy. Here we go with Kamala Harris, just before she's elected senator. U.S. judges see epidemic of prosecutorial misconduct in state. What that's about is Kamala Harris as a former attorney general and Javier Becerra, who it's questionable whether he should even be attorney general because he didn't have his bar license when he was supposed to for 5 years. They're allowing the DA to charge people with crimes that they didn't commit, and they know they didn't commit. Need a sip of my iced tea. Now here we have is illegality and inhumanity. This describes what goes on in the jails and such, and that's going to be an interesting read. Right here, on the second page, LA County Board of Supervisors budget for 6/25/18. Analysis for the SEIU $15 an hour living wage. This has everything to do with homelessness because $15 an hour, next to $11 an hour, means the difference between endless poverty or beginning to have some sort of a life. It's a total of $8,300 more a year. On the second page of the CEO, Sachi Hamai, report to the board on budget item, she states, the FY 2018-19 recommended budget total of $30.8 billion reflects a decrease of $800 million in total requirements when compared to the 17-18 final adopted budget. Facts: there's 30,000 employees with L.A. County that are SEIU and minimum wage. SEIU employees currently work for a minimum wage of $11 an hour in crucial jobs such as healthcare and special education. SEIU is only being offered 5% over 3 years. This totals only 18 cents an hour of each for the 3 years of the contract. It culminates in only 55 cents an hour over 3 years, only $11.55 an hour, not $15 an hour in 3 years. According to the latest inflation rate data for 2018, LA is 4.1%. This is a loss of ability to continue to live as costs, when on the edge, becomes a path eventually to homelessness. Oh, I thought we were trying to stop that, huh, people? But when you really analyze what they're doing, they're just full of shit, and that's why they've gone crazy with me. That's how I ended up in the funny farm with Ivan and Carolyn. The only non-immigrants to the U.S. are original American Indians. SEIU workers are being treated like the immigrants, and their children being ripped apart daily. SEIU members had only one complaint last year on the dial-a-ride and still lost their jobs without top brass from SEIU doing a thing in person. There's a total lack of concern for employees and lack of accountability. BOS does not care if they're DPSS, mental health, LADA, LA Sheriffs, LA County Board of Supervisors, County Council, LA Superior Courts, Appeals Court, and Public Defenders. Fake being law and order and all equal before the law in the Orwellian world we live in, with a real civil war coming before the election between the deplorable Trumpsters from hell and real people.
Wow.
Let us not forget the fraud in the homeless agency with building low rent for $505,682. When I found the average for low-income housing is from $69,000 to $89,000 without property acquisition. $1.7 billion over 6 years was spent to just build only 3,362 units. Honest, civic-minded public employees could have built 26 units, 1,000 units at $69,000 each, or be able to house half the homeless already with no fraud, waste, and pork. Homeless is now at about 57,000. SEIU type brass have thrown away thousands of jobs at LAUSD when students do not come to school. Workers are not needed. Why hasn't the SEIU brass made this an issue? 150,000 students do not come to school every day. This is some serious stuff here, dudes.
159,000, you said?
150,000, 25% of the total.
Wow.
This is the difference between enrollment and ADA. You are only paid for ADA, not who signs up. LAUSD lost about $2 billion last year from lost ADA students. Also, 15,000 to 20,000 jobs, people, at least 8,000 of that SEIU. Oh boy. The SEIU president was the head of a group looking at the financial problems at LAUSD. How do they not know of anything about the budget, such as what produces the money they are crying about, which is ADA, or lost UTLA, SEIU, Teamsters, Amazing enough, Administrators Union lost jobs. Weekly and yearly income at $11 an hour. 11 times an hour, times an hour is $440 a week. 440 times 52 equals $22,880 a year. Weekly and yearly income extra at $15 an hour. 4 times 40 is $160 extra a year, or 160 times 52, $8,320 extra per year. Increase in weekly income at $15 an hour. 440 plus 160 equals $600 a week instead of $440 a week. Increase in yearly income, $22,880 plus $8,320 equals $31,200 a year. Proposed contract. First year of contract. Current year is $22,880. The first year with 1.33% is $23,185. The total extra per week is $5.25. The total extra per year is $304. I'm talking about $8,320 per year. Then I do the whole thing. When you add it all together, they lost income of the first year of $8,116 by not getting $15 an hour.
Wow.
Without the $15 an hour, they'd have lost a total income over 3 years of $23,316. This is an easy choice for SEIU members, apparently not for top brass. Why don't any of those responsible know the financial budget for negotiations? They are bought and sold is the answer. Naturally, they had to send me to the state mental hospital for long-term rehabilitation, as I am stupid, incompetent, and infirm. Go to fraudbuster.org to see the games played and learn the law.
Wow.
Do not forget the federal budget, national security, their confidence and impunity must be broken like trumpet is deplorable. George Bazzetti, Director of Policy, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. I'm very interested in any fraud and law breaking you have, especially documented. I make sure no one finds out who you are. I have a long reputation for not only telling where I obtain information. And that is the truth. Come to me at fraudbuster.org or georgebuzzetti@gmail.com. That's George, B-U-Z-Z-E-T-T-I @gmail.com. Nobody will ever know who the hell you are. So that finishes this for tonight. That's a little education deal. Now we're going to have to walk out of the forest because the light's closing down. But boy, did we ever accomplish some stuff here, huh, Ivan?
Yes.
Ivan,
Yes,
did it really help reading, huh?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Dr. Bazzetti's
So now we're going to turn this off. So here we are, and we're going to show you how the people they call the deplorables, the homeless, and the mental health people take care of real business. Because we actually, here's what it is, people. We actually give a fuck about what happens to y'all.
That's what I was just about to say.
We love you, y'all.
Yes.
And those of you who are sticking our ass in the line for you, and they don't have the balls to do that, I guarantee you that. Okay?